Hear ye, hear ye. The regular meeting of the Paintsville Utilities Commission is called to order. Roll call. We got Mitch and Tim are absent.
We're expecting Tim to be here momentarily.
Tim's going to be in a few minutes. All right.
Here.
Review and approval of minutes. We've got two sets of minutes here. Let's do the June 4th meeting first.
I have to wait on that one. He wasn't there.
Let's skip over the minutes for now.
Okay, we'll skip over that. Operating report. Anything to add, Bob?
No.
Motions to approve?
Motion to approve the operating report.
Second.
Motion carries.
I'm just trying to give you a chance that we get in there.
I'm generous of it. Pay requests.
Have our usual batch of pay requests. Bell Engineering, invoice 180508, $7,500 on the wastewater treatment plant flow meter replacement. Funding source Paintsville Utilities.
Motion to pay.
Second.
Motion carries. I assume it's automatic if they're.
A little vote.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah, we second. He made a motion, I second.
Okay.
We're ready.
All right.
Next, Bell Engineering, invoice 180507, $1,181.25.
I make a motion, we pay Bell Engineering 180507, $1,181.25.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Carries.
Next is Bell Engineering, 180363, $6,662.50 on the miscellaneous water system improvements phase 2.
Motion to pay that.
I make a motion, we pay Bell Engineering 180363.
Second.
All in favor? Carries.
We have invoice number 9 from Aikens Excavating on the I&I project, contract 1, $168,058.85 to be funded by rural development.
Motion to pay.
Motion to pay Aikens Excavating, $168,058.85.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let it be noted that Tim Skinner is entered room. Tim, welcome. First time I've ever beaten you here.
I know, it's a miracle.
All right. Next is invoice 10 from Thomas Environmental on the I&I project, contract 2, $212,669.51, also funded by rural development.
I make a motion, we pay Thompson Engineering contract 2 for $212,669.51. Second.
All in favor? Carries.
And invoice 11 from Bocook Engineering on the I&I project, $16,651.26, funded by rural development.
Motion to pay Bocook $16,651.26.
Second.
All in favor? Carries. Legal service invoices.
If you want, we go back to the minutes.
Minutes, yeah, let's go. Let's start with June 4th. You have the minutes before you. Is there any discussion? Motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for June 4th.
You read them?
Yep.
I second the June 4th minutes.
All in favor? Minutes are approved from June 4th. And we have the June 25th meeting last week.
I have one correction. Page 2, the top, number 5. Can we make that motion and vote on that? A motion was made by Mr. Cannon, second by Tim Spencer to adopt the budget as presented to the commission.
And the question is whether we need to put it all voted aye.
Yeah, because there was a concern about how we were going to pay for that one item out of that, and we approved the budget contingent upon us figuring out where we were going to cover that expense from.
So you recall that we actually voted to approve?
See, that,
Is that what you
I remember
remember?
the
Okay.
Yeah,
vote
they
to
made a
approve.
motion.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
To
want
approve it
to
as presented.
move it as amended to secondly approved. Is that so moved?
I didn't put all of it on there, so I can fix that.
That's an original sentence. How were we going to pay for that healthcare insurance? Because we approved our healthcare insurance based on the potential of where that money would come from.
It's in the budget.
Yeah, but if we approved the budget the way it stood, those dollars were already allocated.
That's because we also talked about that next year we may have to look into the HRA fund and maybe not have one. We'd have to look closer at it to see what we could do and earlier, so that if we are going to do one or not, like say, here's how much money it's going to cost for the Cadillac version, here's what it is, if we want to say a set fee we talked about, and we were going to go ahead and just go with it as is for this year. And it's something we have to figure out for next year, because it's too late to go ahead and say, no, hold up. Because he had to give something on his, the city to approve for.
No, but I thought the question was that we were literally going to do the cost of living pay increases and table the rest of it.
Well, which was going to be, the budget was initially set up for a possible, we always do the CPI, and then we also were going to look at for the raises, for merit raises.
Right.
But that is just set in there too, we could use it, we don't have to.
That's what I wanted somebody to say. It's there, but that doesn't mean it's allocated. Because I would have assumed
No.
with it budgeted, the way it is budgeted, that it would have been allocated for.
I think it states it up, it could be up to 1.75.
Average.
Right.
But before any of that could be done, this commission would have to approve any of those.
And
We
I think
still
that's,
approve how much everybody gets.
because that was the thing that we had talked about, that Mitch had made clear that that was where we were going to go with.
We could go that
Yeah,
route if we
not that
decided
we
to do
did.
that.
Right.
But we had to go ahead and approve the budget as it was. You know, it's like it every year, just because we budget, it don't mean you have to spend it.
I think we need to say specifically how we want those minutes to be changed.
Have that all voted on, which is,
All voted aye?
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm not saying that we did not vote for the budget. I'm just saying that there was discussion about
You
the
just want
cost of
clarification.
insurance.
yeah.
We had that conversation that either we have to cover those costs this year on the Cadillac version, or we have to have some dollars sitting somewhere that's going to help cover that.
That version is built into the budget.
So if I read that right, and I'm not trying, I'm just trying to make sure I understand this, I'm just going to say it the way I normally would say it. So we build it, that budget, cost of living increase, plus the potential pay raise.
Potential.
That's right, but we haven't covered in that budget the additional healthcare costs.
Yes.
It
And
is
we
covered.
said that we wanted to potentially, maybe, possibly, cover that cost with that pay raise.
Or everything stand as is, just the budget's there to initially say, here's how much money we want to try to allocate to do the budget. It doesn't mean we have to spend everything we budget. It's just a matter of, budgets have to be presented by a certain time of year, we throw them out there, and this is what we can use. Now, if there's a discussion that we want to not spend as much because the insurance went up 9.5% from last year, that in futures, we could say, well, here's this 9.5% raise you're giving because we're paying for the insurance costs, and we may not do the actual yearly merit raise. We didn't definitely say we were going to do it that way, we just said this is a discussion we'll handle later.
I just wanted to make sure that was out there, that was the conversation that we had.
Okay, so are we satisfied? All that we need to do to change the meetings is all voted aye in favor of that resolution?
Can I just add? And then let them sign it.
Maybe the chairman initials.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
And Phil, if you would initial the written change there.
Okay. And then we can go on to legal service invoices, I believe.
I make a motion that we pay legal services invoice. In the amount of $560.
We signed the bottom.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Other operating invoices.
Make a motion to pay all other operating invoices.
There's a second.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Departmental reports.
Anybody need to make any additions or comments on the reports?
Did we approve those?
No, we just,
Any discussion on departmental reports, questions? Old business, downtown I&I project.
Broke you ready?
Okay, contract one, this month we've lined 1,525 feet of lining, which includes 22 services that were reconnected. That makes a total of 20,040 feet that's already been done this year. We're about 50% finished on this contract. Oh, actually on both of them. They did 5 point repairs. In addition to that, one of them was actually over in Richmond Village where, I know you, manhole 11-140. It's where everything comes together. There's a lateral that comes out toward Route 40. And at the end of that, there was a T. They dug down and water was actually, when it rained, running right into the end of that T. So, I mean, that we correctly had a connection right there. So that was repaired. There, like I said, there's 5 all total that was done. They installed over at the plant, the sewer plant itself. They replaced some ductile iron pipe that was damaged. They replaced and put a manhole in, rerouted around. It's about 191 feet of 8-inch and about 6 feet of 6-inch PVC pipe that was put in. Paving, Woodland Estates and Preston Estates hopefully is paved. As we stand here, I believe it to be paved anyway. They did go back to Woodland Estates. There was one resident that we stubbed off his lateral. His line was behind his house. He wanted to rerun it himself. So he did that. We went back up behind his house and plugged that line off. So that was done also. Continued investigations over on Lilac Street on a possible gutter connection. I think that Bob and them were talking last week that hopefully this week they'll start smoking over there. Be a good time for the 4th of July. They found lateral discharging over on 12th Street to repair it. And they started looking at we knew this one existed, but manhole 840, which is the intersection of 2nd and 4th, the actual storm sewer goes through this, sanitary sewer goes through the storm sewer. It's elevated, it's got a hole in the top of it. So when water comes up in the manhole, it actually goes into the sanitary sewer. So that's going to be repaired. The contract 2, Lowell's pump station completely installed. And it's working now. West Van Leer pump station completed base flanges converted for one of the pumps. Cross Creek pump stations completed and running. Island Creek pump station moved the equipment in, materials in preparation to raise the pump station. They started, for your knowledge, they started working on 3rd Street this week. Today they went up on Mill Street, tried to clean down Mill Street. They had a lot of debris in it, and they hit a lateral, so they couldn't go any further. They went down to, on the overall system map, between, I believe it's 809 and 810, there's about 700 feet, but it shows 2 manholes. It shows 2 connections, but it shows no manholes. One of those connections looks like it goes over toward Mayo, and they did go back into Mayo and found it's an 8-inch coming out. They're in 809 right now trying to clean out going toward that. They haven't gotten to that, but they did notice that it dropped from an 8-inch to a 6-inch, so it probably was stubbed off the main line at 6-inch, and then connected on when they built Mayo.
So do you think they've got an 8-inch from Mayo onto a 6-inch into our?
Yeah. And then there should be another one on down where Bill Branch goes. So they're going to try to locate those manholes. At least has to be one where Bill Branch you would think would be there. They actually started lining some of the manholes today. We've got them started over around Van Hoos Lumber just to get them out of traffic and get them oriented to the city. They got about 5, maybe 6 done today. So they're starting at that intersection and going up toward, I guess, Woodland Avenue, back in that way. And that's, they will be working the 4th. They're going to take off on Thursday, so, but they've been told not to come down there, so they'll be working somewhere else. Any questions?
You feel like it's been going pretty good?
I think
big issues we got run into?
pretty much it's been, I've been very well pleased with both contractors. They're easy to work with. You got a problem, they're right on it. They're not trying to cover anything up. I'm really glad we got both those contractors. Makes our job a little lot easier. They want to do a good job.
Thanks, Dave. Other ongoing projects?
Nothing to report this time.
All right, new business, audit proposals.
We advertised for audit proposals, and we received one. David has it here.
It's from Wells and Company, which was received on June 19th.
The deadline was the 2nd.
The proposal for audited services is $21,000. Our rate for auxiliary services is $100 per hour.
Well, we don't have any other bids. What percentage of our total operating budget is, what is our total operating budget?
About 8.
8 million?
Okay. Small percentage.
Yeah.
And that same bid from last year?
If it's not exactly the same, it's a very minor change.
Make a motion to approve Wells and Company, $21,000 for audit services.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Disposition of used meters.
Let's skip over that one for now. I've been expecting a text. Any kind of information there.
Okay, go ahead. Miscellaneous water system improvements.
Yeah, that's the project that Bill's been designing for us to correct some deficiencies in our system. That project has been approved by the Area Water Council. It's been submitted to the KIA, and they've approved it for an invitation to apply for a loan. And we're requesting permission to apply for that loan for $2,010,000. And the permission to engage Big Sandy Ag to assist with that
Does the commission apply, or does it come from the city, from the mayor, or what?
application. We would next take this to the city council.
We're approving to ask for approval to ask the council to submit
Correct.
for the invitation.
Do you know if Big Sandy is still looking for any grant money to do this, or?
Not on that one.
Is that, how much will that cover of the project?
That should cover it all.
That is the grant. I'll make a motion that we submit to the council, asking them to go for the invitation. Make it known that we want to apply.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Purchase of new multifunction copier, so the copier's given out, huh?
It has its days.
Did you say it was 9 years, less than 9 years?
It's 7.
7? That's pretty good, isn't it, for?
It's worked pretty hard, especially when we're doing the transition on the billing system. And 7 o'clock last Friday, a week ago, when I was trying to get ready for the budget meeting, it went down on me. A little frustrated.
One of the joys.
Yeah.
So we pay 65 cents per copy?
No, it's 0.65 cents.
I know somewhere is at 10,000.
Yeah, that's the current, and we'll pay $84 monthly, and that covers 10,000 copies.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
we
trying
don't come close.
to figure out. I was trying to figure that out.
So is the question whether to purchase a new one?
It's a yes or no. And if you look at actually over the period of the next 7 years, it'll be less expensive to purchase than to keep what we've got. Assuming that we stay with roughly that 4,000 average. What this would be proposed, we would pay per copy rather than paying an amount up front. We're paying for more than we're using.
I'll make a motion to allow Bob to work with Comax to purchase the copy.
A second.
Any discussion? All in
And
favor?
as part of that, I need to be able to enter into that contract for the maintenance at 0.65 cents.
As denoted to the line added into the maintenance contract.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries.
James says thank you.
You're welcome, Jane.
Thank you.
Water plant membranes.
Well, you want to take this one?
What's new membrane?
Yeah, they continue to spend a significant amount of time repairing the original membranes. Half of our membranes have been replaced. Those are very well flawless. We still have the other half that they're fighting on a weekly basis. And we do have a quote from Suez, formerly GE. There's a typo in the amount on your paper there. It's $145,420, not $420.
Is there only one way to install those things?
Oh, well, I know, yeah.
So it couldn't be originally, those originals installed wrong then, right? Because they only go in one way.
Yeah, let's go one way.
So they were just faulty.
Thanks, man.
And Larry was actually on site when those were installed. He saw them go in.
Did you hear back from them on the?
We have, and they're exploring possibility of warranty on 50 units. Don't know how that's going to go. Have you been able to get that information together yet?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to send them some some history on those 50 modules, see if we get some warranty on those. That would give us an opportunity to maybe address that 4th train, try to get this thing behind us. We had hoped to be able to work out some sort of a deal to go ahead and get a discount, and go ahead and replace the remaining half, but they're not willing to do that.
How many do we need to just replace all of them?
There's 162 in each train. You got 2 trains.
So you got 2 old trains that need to be replaced.
324, and how much are these?
700 or something.
Something piece.
Yeah, if the price are stated, that'd be $290,000, $290,840.
Funded by rural development.
Yeah, that's the thought.
But we could try to at least get the 50.
We're exploring that right now.
I guess looking at the 50 plus maybe try to get enough to completely change one whole train out and
Yeah.
cost might be.
We need to go ahead and do one whole train. And hopefully they get enough good ones out of that, and maybe in combination with 50 new ones if that comes through.
How do you tell which ones are good after you take it out?
They have the history on the repairs that were made on them. And you can really
Yeah,
tell
we
them.
can do a pressure test on them too.
Yeah.
You know,
Looks
if they
like
can-
you could know, if you could do that, you could know how many you need right now, instead of the 324, some of them are good.
You'd have to take each individual one, do it one at a time, so it's 162, pull it out, and I guess you got them labeled 1 through 162.
And you gotta keep it away. They all have an identifying number. And then
Yeah, they'll have their
it's
own.
all documented when they do the repairs.
He knows wherever set that, wherever module's at.
But right now, you don't know which ones are good and which ones are bad.
And I can do a bubble test and find the ones that are good, and then I can replace them. Thing is, you're gonna take 2 trains and try to make one, the best of one you can. If you replace one whole one,
Yeah.
and you take all those old models and try to make one good one out of the other 2.
Which is very labor intensive.
And you only got 1 crane, you can only lift one at a time. The way they done the grading there, you'd have to take all the grading up to get them to the floor.
Keep them moist.
You got to keep them wet.
Have we got this budgeted right now?
We budgeted for 1 full train. There was actually 150 in the budget.
Well, I make a motion to go ahead and replace, buy the whole train and try to figure out what we got good and make it work.
I'll second.
All in favor? Carries. Any other new business?
Yes. I made reference in my report to the furnace on the exterior rear of the shop building. We would like to remove that. I'm afraid I haven't talked to you yet, Bobby, and I went out and looked at it the other day. It's kind of an eyesore and it's deteriorating. It is something that we would probably need to contract out, given the elevation height of that thing. Power lines nearby.
Just gonna do like an open bid for removal and
Yeah.
then do an on-site inspection and come back with a method of how they're gonna remove it.
Yes. And we did come back to the commission.
On their method of removal, do we need to go to Dewey and let him approve?
Might not be a bad idea.
Do we know approximate weight of that tower?
We don't. It's pretty heavy steel though, isn't it, correct?
Yeah, it's no furnace, incinerator or something.
I think it's what they used to heat that steel up in both manufacturing process.
It's probably double walled also, so a regular torch may not.
Yeah, I'd say it would be double wall.
second? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Bob?
Not under new business, but we may need to come back to the meter thing after executive.
Okay. You still haven't gotten your text?
Not yet. Text him on that.
Do we need to have executive session?
We do for personnel and potential litigation.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
All in favor? Motion carries. Is there a motion to return from executive session?
Motion to return.
Second.
All in favor? Regular session? Report?
As far as the report, the commission discussed issues related to 2 employees, and they received updates with regard to an issue regarding potential litigation. However, no action was taken.
Do we need to table 8B for the next meeting? Since you never got anything back on the quote.
Never got it.
8C. No, was it B?
Disposition of used meters.
So we can't talk about that then.
I may be in touch with you.
Okay. And you have anything else, Bob?
That's it.
Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Meeting is adjourned.